everyone, my name is Marlene and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it has been a very long time since I last put out a YouTube video. I don't really have a good explanation for that time period passing, except that I did move to a new country and I am now at a different company. I work for Microsoft now. And for those of you who don't know, I am a senior developer advocate there and I work on the Azure team, the Microsoft Azure team, which focuses on Python. So one of the projects that I have been very excited to work on as part of the team has been the Langchain project. So many of you have probably heard me, or if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen me posting about Langchain. It's a project that I've followed for a very long time and has become increasingly successful, particularly in the AI space. And so I have recently, one of the projects I've been very excited about is the Langchain Azure project. We have just released a version, I want to say 0.01. I'm not sure how we are naming. I think it's 01 or something like that. And this package is really exciting. It is, of course, open source. And one of the things that I think is outstanding about this particular release is that we have included access to the DeepSeek model. This video is going to be pretty short. It's just going to be walking you through how to use DeepSeek with Azure with Langchain Azure. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. So the first thing that I would recommend that you do is to navigate to this page, which is the Langchain Azure repository. So if you go to the Langchain Azure, like if you just go to the main repository for Langchain, and if you scroll down and you type in, well, Langchain's Azure, it should pop up there in the list of repositories. So here, like I mentioned, this just contains all of the integrations that we currently have for Langchain and Azure. We're also migrating some of the old ones that were also in the community repository that we, maybe might not have included here. But usually this is going to be the place actually that you are going to be interacting with Langchain and Azure. So the first thing I want to mention is that we have in the README, we have some instructions for how to get started quickly with this package. We have some other packages that are here that you can use if you want to use dynamic sessions or if you want to use the new SQL Server package. I definitely recommend trying those out. But the first thing we are mainly interested in is trying out DeepSeek. So as you can see, I already have like a quick start example here that you can use. But we want to go ahead and copy the pip install instruction. So you can just type out pip install Langchain Azure AI. I'm just going to go back to my Jupyter notebook. I have a Langchain Conda environment open, and then I'm just going to paste that in for pip installing the package. Let's run that. I've already installed it, so it should be pretty quick. Then after that, as you can see, I have a Jupyter notebook open, and this notebook, the first couple of lines of code here is that we see that first of all, I'm accessing default credential, which will just allow me to be able to access my model resources without having to use an API key. But you can also use your API key directly as well if you would like. And then we have this place that says endpoint, and when you have your Azure AI model, so let me go to my resources. So I'm in AI Foundry and I have a specific model. Say I have GPT-4o here. I'm gonna I'll blur out my name, so hopefully you're not seeing my email address here. But I have this GPT-4 model, and the name that I'm looking for is, you can see where it says endpoint here. The main thing I want to look for is this section here. So I would want to probably go ahead and copy up until this point if I was just doing this from scratch. Copy that and then go back to my notebook, and then here where it would say, so let me paste what I got there. So I would just pretty much use the same thing. So pasting this in here, instead of our resource name, we can paste that in here, and then it would say, services.ai.azure models. So that's pretty much the main thing that we want to get is this piece here and copy that in, which is kind of different from, other endpoints that you use in other examples. So I think this is, sometimes that can get people tripped up. I know it did me in the beginning. And then the next thing is we want to specify that we want to use our DeepSeek model. As long as you can run this snippet of code that I have in this Jupyter notebook, that means you now have access to DeepSeek. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to actually have, see how the model is working and interact with the model. So what we're going to do is we're going to say from Langchain, Azure AI dot, let's say message. Is it messages or... I have the, just to remind myself, I have it here. So let's just say messages.import. Let's go ahead. Let's actually just, so that for the sake of time, let's go ahead and just copy this here. And then I'm just going to paste that. Oh, let's go back here and let's just paste this here. And then I'm going to say from messages, import system and human messages. Okay, perfect. So these are the messages that we have, which is we have a system message and we have a human message. So the system message is basically the model prompt that will tell the model how to behave. So you're telling the model that you're going to translate anything that user sends in from English to Italian. And then we're sending in that human message that is saying hi. So we're expecting it to respond, ciao is the answer to that question from the little Italian that I know. So first of all, we could use the invoke option, but I want to go ahead and use the stream option just to get that. And the stream option will give a generator back. So what we want to say is maybe let's say response. And let's say for message in response. Copilot helping me out here. Let's print message.content. So let's go ahead and press play. It's saying Langchain Azure.message not found. Let's see, from Langchain. Let's see, am I just supposed to import it from Langchain directly? Langchain core, okay, helpful to know. So let's say from Langchain core dot messages import. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's run it again and see what we get in response. So here we immediately see that we get this think thing that looks like some HTML. And this is, like I mentioned before, that it is a reasoning model. So it's going to give you all this thinking that's saying, okay, the user sent hi and wants it translated into Italian. Let me think, hi. So it has all of these. Let's go ahead and make that a scrollable element. So is this scrollable? Yes, it's scrollable. So we can see that all of this is the model thinking. It's saying hi is an informal greeting in Italian. Common informal greetings are ciao and salve. I'm not going to try and do that. But it thinks for quite a while, which is why it's not going to give you that immediate response. And then when you see the end of this, again, it looks like those HTML tags that you usually will see. It will give them the user's response saying the translation of hi from English to Italian is ciao. So that would be the user response that the person would see. What we see is that the model has spent a good amount of time thinking. So, sometimes you're on Twitter or, on some of these platforms, whatever platform, Blue Sky is, maybe preferred now. And you'll see people sort of complaining about the speed of O1 or of DeepSeek. And the reason is because these models are more reasoning models. And so they're not going to be expected to respond as quickly as your chat models would. And this is, in an example like this, we probably don't need to use a reasoning model. But in other examples where you're trying to do more complicated work, maybe when you're trying to use agents and integrate a more complex workflow, you actually do want your model to think and reason through different scenarios or different options that are available. And so this, again, like I mentioned, is super short. It's just a quick intro to show you how to get started with DeepSeek with Langchain and Azure. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you would like a more in-depth tutorial about maybe building something with this, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.